Okay, so next point is about staying green. Okay, so once green plan for organization is ready, the attention about should be on implementing that plan. Okay, so this will be required putting new person in the organization. Okay, so organization in staying green, organization check you ups. So once green plan for organization is ready, the attention should be on implementing that plan. Okay, so this will require putting a new person in the organization that take care for green plan. Implementing this new person should be responsible for meeting organization green goal. So green office. So here green officer will be point is that green officer. Okay, so here it also known as a green chief environment committee officer. Okay, it's also called as chief environment committee officer, that is CO. Okay, so green C CCO CECO. So the green officer also called as chief environmental committee officer, that is CECO. So chief green officer has a job role that involves implementing an organization green, means supervising the organization green initiatives. So these initiatives are implemented to minimize the organization carbon footprint and protect the environment. So the green officer work to supervise to okay, supervising organization green initiatives, and these initiatives are implemented to minimize why we are this supervising means it work to try to this supervise to initiatives implemented to minimize the organization carbon footprint and product the environment, right? So so here CEO going to responsible for following things like finding new and innovative ways to reduce the carbon footprint, means CEOs having some responsible like finding a new innovative way to reduce the carbon footprint of the organization, then getting the diverse scalons stakeholders, means first of all here the initiatives are implemented to minimize the organization carbon footprint and protect the environment. Then chief executive officers having like chief financial officer, chief information officer, and chief green officer, right? So under chief executive officers working under like chief financial, then information officer and green officer like the CECO. So here CGO, that is a chief executive officer, CGOs have is going to responsible for the following things like finding new innovative ways to reduce the carbon footprint. Okay, innovative way find करने, then getting the diverse stakeholder on uh, board and uh, engaging them in green program, right? Then discovering new renew opportunity through carbon and environmental sustainability innovatives. Okay, so here discovering a new renew opportunity through corporate and environmental sustainability initiatives. So here tradition from capability to sustainability. Here it is a wonderful to say that many companies have adopted green practices, but the truth is companies have started adopting these practices because of the law which requires companies to achieve the certain level of environmental, that is practices are adopted as a complaint issue initially, but now companies are going beyond what was required. This transitions from complaint to the sustainability is four steps like complaints, means transitions for complaints to sustainability is having four steps process. Like first one is complaint complaints. Okay, then second one is personal personal committed commitment, sorry. Then third one is public trust, public trust. And last one is sustainable growth. Okay, so these four steps are there under the transition from complaints to sustainability. So here it is wonderful to say that many companies have adopted green practices, but the truth is companies have started adopting these practices because of the law, which requires company to achieve certain level of environmental. That is it. These practices are adopted as complaint issue initially, but now companies are going beyond what was required. This traditional transitions from the complaints to the sustainability is four factor like complaints first. That is, many organizations started their eco-friendly behavior because it was the law which they have to follow. The aim was just achieve certain level of environment responsibility because of complaints issues. Okay, so many organizations started their eco-friendly behavior because of it was the law which they have to follow. Then personal commitment. Organization can only be dedicated to environment friendless as the CEO or a leader of the organization. If leader of CEO or CEO level leaves the organization, so there are chance that green initiatives will go out this window. So they require that notation being green should be signed by entire organization and not only the CEO of the organization. Okay, then public trust. Earning public trust is by a matter of the increasing brand attractive advertise green of efforts of the organization is good idea, but that has a to be supported by actual action. Then sustainable growth. Once the green goals, then last one is the green goals are met, identify the opportunity to set new goals, develop green product, increase the energy efficiency, reduce waste, and covers the critical resource. Then structure here. So here some structures are there of the CEO should report directly of the CEO. That is like this structure is given here. Let's see. Okay, CEO, that is a just 1 minute. Okay, we require the just let me draw. Okay, so here's having the diagram of structures. That is, first is the What is the first one is CEO, that is a Chief Executive Officer. Then CRG, that is a Chief Green Officer. So under the CEO, that is a Chief Executive Officers, having some points you can say. Let's check it first. Main point is like IT department is there under the CEO. Okay, so here IT department, IT department. Okay, I am writing DPT. IT department. Then you can say marketing department. Okay, IT department. Then after marketing department here. Okay, department. Okay, DPT. Then shipping department and production department. Then shipping department. Just 1 minute. Okay, marketing department. Then ship, shipping department, and like this product department. Shipping department and product department. So these are the comes under the CEO. Okay, so these are the some points which comes under the CEO. So this is your small diagram about CEO. Okay, okay, okay. So here you can say that the structure of CEO should be reported. Okay, this structure, the CEO should be report directly to the CEO of the organization, because only CEO can influences the entire organization. It should be convey to all the employees of the organization that going green. It is organizational change and not the single department or unit change. So if CEO is recommending any change in any department, then CEO can inform that department for adopting the change. For example, if CEO suggesting that shipping department can solve lot of the money just by changing its shipment, the CEO can inform shipping department. Okay, means if CEO is suggesting the shipping department can have, means what, if CEO is recommending any changes in any department, which we have seen the IT, market, shipping, production, right? So if example consider CEO is suggesting that shipping department can save lot of money just by changing its shipment, so CEO can inform shipping department regarding the same. Okay, so which can see in this diagram. So CEO is responsible not only for a company's green plan, but also for tracking daily activities of various departments. CEO is also responsible for corporate communication environment. Okay, then product development and strategy partnership. CEO needs to have strong relationship with department heads. So CEO is CGO is responsible for setting the strategy and establish material and marketing, sure that they are being met. Also, CGO needs to decide action to take if goals are not met, and what do to do in order to achieve them. Then evolution. Green IT department and data center is not the destination; it is journey. One should means evaluate organization, process, and equipment to make sure that one is the green as one can be reduce environmental impact and save money. From environmental standpoint, equipment today is better than what it was 5 years ago. but its equipment that will be going to available 5 years from now will be much better than what it is today. One should continuously evolve to adopt new technologies. Okay, to improve the process of organization from more ecological, responsible. Okay, for example, by adopting one plan today, one is reducing environment impact, organization asset. So in future, it might be possible that there will be new, smarter, safer plan which can even reduce the environmental impact. So one should deploy that plan. That one should be moving forward towards zero impact on the environment. Also need to express should be kept in mind. Why should not reduce the size of data center through virtualization? There should be always be some space to expand that. That is, if data center space is given to some other space and one need to expand, then there will be no place available, and the earlier decision was considered as bad decision. Sell the CEO. The benefit of going, okay, so here the benefit going green are not obvious to everyone in the organization, right? Especially to CEO. These people in organization are good at heart, and they also know that they should reduce greenhouse gas emission, but they are interested in making money, right? So to convince CEO, one should explain the benefits of going green in terms of no, so benefits. For example, if one is explaining the efficiency using following lines, attention of CEO will get lost at the data center. Changing data center from old rack server to new consideration blend server responsible for handling tasks of multiple server using virtualization technology will be more efficient. Rather explaining the above lines in the following way to will attract the CEO. Changing all rack server into new constellation blend server will have save money. The is electrical cost per server per year, and by the way, data center has 5,000 server. So following are some strategy to win the over upper management, like keep in touch. Management need to be regularly informed about the green practices and how these practices are contributions, right, to the corporate value. It will be easier to sell the project if management is engaged. Then regularly meet investor relationship staff. So here meet regular means following factors are like that. Keep in touch. Then keep in touch. Then regularly regularly investor. Okay, regularly investor relation staff. Then gain recognition. Gain recognition. So all right. Okay, all rack server into new consideration. A blend server will save approximately 4,000, not 40,000 in electrical cost per server per year. And by the way, data center has 5,000 server. So following the some strategies is to win the over upper management. First is the keep in touch. So here management need to be regularly informed about green practices, okay, and how these practices are contributing to the corporate value. It will be easier to sell the project if management is engaged. Then regularly meet investor relations staff. Investor relations staff regularly meet. So meet regularly with investor relations staff and explain them about value of energy management. It's important to company's overall reputations. Then gain recognition. So wins should be committed to the senior management, employees, customer, and investor. Okay, so okay, green recognition. When goals of the program are achieved, this win should be committed to say senior management, employees, customer, and investors. Okay, then smart goals. So, what do you understand smart goal? Okay, so it is a machine mechanism that helps you set and achieve certain goals. Smart is any acronym whereas specific so measurable, okay, realistic, timely. So a specific a goal should be clear, precise, and put in terms people can relate it to. For example, the goal should be like we are going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 25%. Okay, by the end of the next year, rather than we are going to reduce greenhouse emissions to set specific goal. One should answer six questions: who, what, where, when, which, why. Right? Measurable set concert certain for measuring progress towards the accomplish of goal. Measuring progress sure that one is on right track and milestone are achieved. It should motivate one to keep moving to forward. Then attainable. Once the goal is identified, figure out the way to accomplish the goal. For example, build up the right attitude, skill, power, and ability to achieve the goal. Realistic. The goal should be realistic. That is, goal must represent. Okay. So here the goal should be realistic, that is goal must be represent on objective towards which one is both and capable of the working on it. Also goal should be high, but a relative check must be done on it to the make sure that it can be actually achieved. For example, greenhouse gas emission will become 0% from my organization by the end of this year. So this goal is not realistic. Timely. So here, in timely, one should establish a realistic time frame to achieve the goal. There should be defined definite means a date by which goal should be met. For example, the goal should be like we will reduce greenhouse gas emission by December 13th of this year, rather than we will reduce greenhouse gas emission. Okay, then equipment checkups. Though this section explain about data gathered by the using some metrics explained earlier, how the measure and how the game move forward. So here means gather data with respect to equipment checkups. That is, this refer to collection of information about energy uses of organization so that it can be used to measure further reading against. When data is being collected, following issues need to be considered, like determine the level of detail. Scope of data collection should be determined first. It will vary from organization to organization. Then specify all energy sources. So determine all the energy sources like electricity, gas, and so on. So that purchase from office vendor. Also maintain information about each energy source in terms of amount energy consumed and money spent on it. Then document and uses. Documentary energy uses here. So for the energy which is being purchased from offsite, gather energy bills, meter, okay, reading, and any other document that can contain the history power uses. It is the best to collect information about 2 years or more. Gathering data about a facility. To normalize, collect data, one may have to collect non-energy related data for facilities such as building size and hours of operation. Then tracking the data. One data which is to be monitored is identify one should be usage tracking system. To the help means result tracking system can be an Excel spreadsheet or one can be used SQL server. Decide best tool following issues need to be considered. Then scope. The type of tracking system to use will depend on scope of data being monitored. Example, how much data is measured, what type of data are being measured, and how frequently those management are to be taken. Then user friendliness. So tracking system need to be something that is power enough for satisfying one's need and yet easy enough to use. Then reports. Apart from monitoring data, tracking system should be capable of committing energy performance of organization in report format. This is an effective method because it can help encourage the changes. Then business line data here. So in business line data, the next step is establish a business baseline. Sorry, data. So baseline for data. This allow once to know about starting point and also help to establish realistic goals. In order to set up the baseline, following issues need to be considered like establish base year. Okay, so need to be considered following like in baseline data. First of all, establishing establishing the base year. Okay, then choosing metrics. Choosing metrics. Then sharing result with stakeholders. Sharing result for sharing result with stakeholders. Okay, so some baseline data are means baseline data with respect to equipment checkup. So the next step is establish the baseline for data. This allow ones to know starting point and how and also help to establish realistic goals. Okay, in order to set up baseline, so issues needed to consider like establishing base year here. So establishing a base year, use complete data of the base year. Then here, okay. So here, so here, okay. So here, establishing a base year, use the complete data of the base year. Okay, use complete data of that base year. Then choosing metrics here. Then select what is to measure based on organization goal. For example, if goal is to reduce the power consumption, one should measure and monitor kilowatt hours. Okay, so then sharing result with stakeholders. So share that the result with managers, department and other stakeholders. Okay, so then this is about the baseline of data. Okay.
Okay, any problem? Praka, Harsh, More, Pankaj, Pranav, Prathamesh.
No, ma'am.
ओके और नोट्स मिलना सबको ग्रुप में चेक किया सबने
Yes, ma'am.
ओके चलो लेक्चर ओवर यू कैन लीव नाउ